Hello, I'm Paul Peterson. The mission of the City of Los Angeles Department of Aging is to improve the quality of life, independence, health, and dignity of the city's older population by managing community-based senior programs that are comprehensive, coordinated, and accessible, and also to advocate for the needs of senior citizens. The department offers many programs and services for seniors, including this television program, Aging in LA, which is produced in cooperation with CityView Channel 35. Now, what is in the future for senior citizen services with the rapid growth of the elder population due to the aging of baby boomers and the increase in life expectancy? We'll discuss the future on the program today. Stay tuned for Aging in LA. There is a wide variety of senior citizen services in the Southern California area to choose from. Many of these services are provided by private, nonprofit organizations, while others are provided by public service organizations like the Los Angeles City Department of Aging. These services include a senior community service, employment program, meals at senior centers, access transportation services, legal services, social services, and adult care programs. Now, with the increase in the senior population and looming budget constraints for government programs, what will we look forward to for senior services in the future? Our guest today will discuss his vision of the future of Los Angeles. Welcome, please, to Tom LaBonge, council member for Los Angeles Council District 4. He is also chairman of the council's Arts, Parks, Health, and Aging Committee. So he definitely has keen insights into the future of aging in Los Angeles. Welcome, Tom, and thank you so much for joining us. Now, Truth in Advertising, you're a personal friend, and I am an admirer of your energy and spirit because it's sincere. When I show up some places, you're apt to be there.
Well, it's a great honor to be a Los Angeles City Council member and to have this job, and I grew up, had a great family, had great parents, and even my grandparent, on my dad's side, lived with us for many years. Right. And so the relationship to those who went before me, which has helped me as who I am today. And working for the late, great John Ferraro for 16 years.
Gosh, yes.
Working early in the late 70s with Peggy Stevenson, who was a champion for seniors. And then with Richard Reardon and the role I had in his office in our very own Department of Water and Power, I've had a great opportunity in city government, and now as a council member, I like to get out and make people believe in the city, and especially do things for our seniors who did so much for us.
Well, that's the truth.
Right.
It is a way of giving back, but the numbers are really alarming if we don't get a handle on this, because our senior population is exploding. Right. And the definition of senior isn't somebody in their 80s. We're really starting age 55, 60, 65 to be engaged with the various services. Now, you have championed so many things for seniors, the Griffith Park Center. Let's talk about that for a bit.
Well, I think it was just one little thing.
I know it's only one.
But I think throughout the city there should be centers for adult centers, and I know you get a lot of ideas from your experience. Now, with West Wilshire, there's a senior center, which is a multi-purpose center, and it really didn't work because seniors have special needs, and young people and volleyball players and basketball players and other activity, it didn't mix. So we separated that situation out there by building a brand new gym, which is one of the great Pan Pacific gyms, and then redoing, just dedicated this year, what is the Pan Pacific Senior Center. With that in mind, I thought, okay, around my district there's the observatory.
Right.
We just finished $93 million renovation. It's
newly renewed.
Wonderful. Well, they had a temporary observatory in trailers in the zoo parking lot. And I said to the director of the observatory and then the Bureau of Engineering, I said, what is our plan after the observatory is done with those buildings? They had no plan. And then I also took a call from a senior, Al DeLukic. He lives in the Los Feliz area. He was complaining that they were being evicted from his senior center where they play bridge.
Right.
So I took that call, and personally from the gentleman who I know, and then also I thought, what are we going to do with these trailers? Anyway, what we did is move them from the zoo parking lot to the Friendship Auditorium on Riverside Drive by the beautiful Mulholland Fountain down the block.
You bet. Don't tell anybody, but I think I put soap suds in there once.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, right. Don't tell anybody. No, don't do that. I know.
Nobody's listening.
Yeah,
it's just us.
Right, just us. But there's this new home for the community. Now, mind you, as a council person, I get around my district as much as possible. And Stephanie Vendick is a great person. B. Gold is a great person who was championed this for the Silver Lake seniors, which were in a very small area by the dam in Silver Lake. And with their passion, with the inquiry about where could seniors go from Mr. DeLukic, with my thoughts of what we do with this old city building, we got this together, and it's not only going to just serve Silver Lake, it's going to serve Greater Griffith Park,
of course,
Atwater Village, Los Feliz, Elysian Valley, anyone who could get there. It's on a bus line, and it will be a place where people could get together and get strength from each other.
Right.
What you need to be successful in life is two things.
What's that?
Water. Without water, you can't plant food, you can't do anything. And relationships.
Right.
And so we got to conserve our water, because I know we're in a shortage, so the DWP is very concerned about that. But we need water as a life cycle.
That's right.
But also our personal relationships. And what I feel for, and I look out for people, is for them to feel as good as I do about Los Angeles. And seniors who are engaged feel better, they're fit, their bodies feel better, their minds feel better when they engage with others.
I know, but we have some challenges that are unique to Los Angeles because we are really spread out. So transportation issues are of critical importance to seniors. So how do we address that in the future? Are we going to be able to create naturally occurring retirement communities where seniors can congregate? Are we going to get more rapid transit? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think there's one thing. I think we're going to be able to develop, I hope, more centers, and some may be government funded, some may be funded by other sources. I think every religious institution that has a parish hall, a community hall, and a temple hall could be available, and many do. You know, many not only reach out for their own congregations, but for others as well. And I think that should be encouraged around, because we can't all do it ourselves. But certainly throughout the city, where we can, we should expand our senior facilities and give opportunities, because there's more people like you and me, Paul.
Yeah,
you're a little ahead of me, but not much. I'm catching up to you.
Yeah, okay, good. I'll just tread water for a bit.
Right, and we have to, because I think it's important. Now, I don't think, because this is a very important question that maybe sociologists and others may study and give us, that those seniors traditionally that maybe moved to Leisure World, if I could use that type of philosophy of 20, 30 years ago, I don't think they're going to leave Los Angeles like that.
And
they're going to stay here.
I don't want them to. I want their wisdom and their experience. And the truth is, I want their spirit of volunteering. Some of the most successful programs we've had the privilege to witness on this show are intergenerational programs where our seniors, out of the goodness of their heart, although it keeps them active, are helping some of our troubled youth, some of our preschool children who need competent daycare.
Helping with the sports program at some of the...
it's another place.
Some of the recreation centers. There's a lot of opportunity to pull together on that. So I really believe that will be what we will see happening in the future. We have to improve the transit system. And there's a lot of different things we have to do. We have to raise local revenue. We have to get more out of Sacramento and Washington. That does not have that type of opportunity at this time. But I've seen cycles. You've seen cycles. We're in a bad cycle. We're going to get out of it. But also,
and pretty quickly too.
We got to plan. We got to plan. Yeah, we got to plan for that, and then make the commitment and make the investment. Just like the Department of Aging. If we didn't have a Department of Aging, if we just categorize that with many other things, there would be the advocacy. And what we really need more is seniors to be advocates for other seniors.
Well, there's another area of interest, at least to me, since I know how short we are of trained and qualified graduating students, not only in the field of geriatrics with university degrees, but workaday people, staff for our nursing homes and skilled nursing home facilities, people to drive our access transit facilities. We need to focus on some educational issues too, to let youngsters know there's a big population whose needs need to be served.
Right.
So that's another part where we can plan for the future.
Right. And the Department of Aging, and I know because they give all the reports to the committee which I chair.
Yes.
Does look at
so
that.
Glad you're there.
Well, no, I've got a lot of great colleagues, but I also would say too that it really is a small percentage of the greater percentage of Angelenos who are of age for this need here. There needs to be more outreach and focus. But I ask anyone who is watching this show to get involved.
Right, that's such a key.
Call 311 at City Hall and say, I want to get involved with aging programs, and they'll connect you to the Department of
Absolutely.
Aging.
And I can promise you they are good about recruiting, and they're relentless. Now, I mentioned earlier in the program that one of the services offered by the Department of Aging is a group of multi-purpose senior citizen centers throughout the city of Los Angeles. There's actually 16 of them. These centers serve as a community focal point for senior services, and one of the most important activities being social and recreational. Now, as you can see, seniors actually have a great time. They're playing games, engaging in other social activities, such as swing dancing. Hey, boy, does that look fun. Dancing works up an appetite, and seniors can take the opportunity to have a nutritious lunch at over 100 community meal sites throughout the city. After lunch, more exercise if desired, either light exercise or maybe something more extreme.
3, 4, one more time. Out, up, up.
We've shown you just a few of the activities at these centers. Be sure to check out the locations of the multi-purpose centers by calling the city's information telephone line 311. Now, even that, 311, it's amazing how many people don't know that that number exists.
More are, like we didn't have 911, we used to have to call the operator,
exactly.
and then they'd connect you with the fire department, police department. More and more are, but I love what you said about the swing dancing, because I'm advocating, in the Hollywood area, Mr. Garcetti's done a great job in revitalizing it. There's a lot of these nightclubs. But, I don't go out that late, so I talk to some of the club owners. I say, hey, I open it up for us, and it's up, plus 40, plus 50 people.
Right.
And come in around 6, 7 at night, do dancing to 9. And then that's before all the young folks come in there.
Right.
Because they dance to wee in the morning. Now,
Yeah,
I
they
would
do.
like to do it early and get home. And,
I agree. Well,
right.
that's the definition of middle age, when you start making choices that get you home earlier.
Right, exactly.
But it's true. I agree with you. It is amazing how we start to back up those hours that we take our recreation, because I'm done at 8 o'clock. I'm finished with
But
my
I always
day.
was I loved sunsets, and
Really?
I loved going out early, so I always used to go out early to begin with. I never was a late nighter, but we're all talking about being late night. I think there's an opportunity to seniors, and this brings up when my mother was living, I used to encourage her to not drive at certain hours because of the traffic. Traffic is a problem in Los Angeles. So to make sure you pick your spots in your time in midday away from the rush hour because of all the congestion that is in many communities.
I was just thinking, when I was younger, I was born in Glendale, and I was always proud wherever I traveled that Los Angeles had always been on the cutting edge. Fads in cars, fashion design, of course, with a huge entertainment community. I'd like to stay out there ahead of the curve on senior issues. How can we sort of mobilize Los Angelenos to just wake up and say, look, we're taking the reins here?
Well, what each of us have to do in our elected position, and I encourage, is to have a senior deputy. There was a much more powerful lobby at City Hall about 20 years ago. Seniors. Really. And when Peggy Stevenson was, and I say that because she was my first boss at City Hall after Tom Bradley had the youth program that I was working on, but Peggy was the first councilwoman I worked in. They did have a senior deputy. I have a deputy assigned to senior issues.
I see.
And to make the rounds as well as I. I think all of us have to do that to be more advocacy and see where you could cross-pollinate uses and where it's appropriate.
Right, because we don't want to be little islands of special interest. We
Right.
really do need to integrate this. Now, it's time for a short break, and when we come back, we will continue our discussion of the future of aging. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
You voted for it, we built it. The Department of Public Works Bureau of Engineering promised to improve, renovate, expand, or construct 32 libraries. On time and under budget, we delivered 36.
Need a recycling center? Call 311, the toll-free number for non-emergency services. 311, your one call to City Hall. Graffiti removal? Call 311, the toll-free number for non-emergency services. 311, your one call to City Hall.
Welcome back to Aging in LA. Our topic today is the future of aging in Los Angeles. And our guest is Tom LaBonge, council member for Los Angeles Council District 4. He is also, importantly, the chairman of the council's Arts, Parks, Health, and Aging Committee. Now, you wear a lot of hats in the course of a day, but when you travel around as you do you find yourself looking at seniors and thinking they might plug in really productively into Parks and Recs, or maybe I should have more contributions in the Arts Council?
Here's the thing, the positive is what I run around. If I go to a senior center, if I go to a public library, they're teeming with people who are engaged. It's a good feeling.
Yes.
And then the challenge and the negative, sometimes I'll be driving and there'll be a senior walking down a sidewalk and it's a bad sidewalk. I don't want anyone to ever fall on a city sidewalk or walk into a curb at an intersection and it's difficult. Our public works has to be improved and watched for. In fact, I met with someone today who discussed these issues of trying to improve public works around an area where there's heavy pedestrian because they're seniors.
Yeah.
I think the big key is just to try to encourage people to think about seniors. And what you're also going to see too, Paul, is you're going to see the marketing industry, create
It's about
images
time.
because there's a lot of us now.
But there
if you could
sure
say
are.
that.
And we got the
Right.
money.
Right,
We've
right.
got the money.
Right,
I don't
right,
understand.
yeah.
How can Madison Avenue not pitch to seniors when we're the ones who are writing the checks?
Well, they do pitch to seniors, but they're just, and then they run them on the sports
Cadillacs
shows.
and golf clubs.
Cadillacs and golf course. And then those, I don't want to say that guy Bob,
Oh, yeah, I know who you mean.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I know Bob.
Whatever that is, it's whole
Yeah.
new marketing, that's going on. They're pitching at that direction. I
Yeah.
think the key is for all seniors, and I want to stress health. I love it. One of my best friends was the late, great Charlie Turner, who we spoke of before the show here,
Yes. Oh,
who
my
was the
God.
honorary mayor of Griffith Park. He lived to be 91. He would hike every day in the park. That's an inspiration. Saul Shakeman's 92.
Wow.
He's still hiking in Griffith Park. He volunteers over at the Braille Institute. And these are inspirations, and we should encourage more of our seniors and help them get out to our parks, to our open space. The Recreational Parks Department has a 50-plus fitness fair, which is fun, where seniors from around the city come, and they have a walk in Griffith Park. I want to try to expand that to Sepulveda, maybe to Cheviot Hills,
Right.
maybe around Exposition Park, and maybe at Harbor Park to get out, because I think when they get out, they have an experience that maybe they haven't had.
And they get new friends.
Right.
But of course, now we do have to talk. Security is an issue. We've had several guests from the LAPD here. They have some wonderful programs for seniors, whether it's that in case of financial abuse or physical abuse. Man, they jump on that right away because I guess they understand how vulnerable seniors can really be.
Right.
But we need seniors. This isn't about just strolling. This is having some meaningful activities. We have a huge entertainment industry here, which pretty much blocks seniors from participating. The ageism in Hollywood is just astonishing.
Well, I think that's just part of that movie business. But You know, I mean, look at Paul Newman. If he did something, we'd all go see it.
Yeah,
but,
he's racing
you know,
cars.
I know, racing cars.
And the stinker lives in Connecticut.
Yeah, that's true. But he comes out and helps here for.
Well, that's true.
You know, many
and
different
his Hole in the Wall
programs. Hole in
Foundation.
the Wall.
Boy, what a
Right,
model for a
right.
successful man. I know it was driven by the death of his son, but nonetheless, his charity work. What a model for
Right.
But we've got so many people, Eli Broad and Mayor Reardon, how
Right.
generous they have been.
Right. Well, yeah.
libraries.
Lou Adler, you know.
Well, of course I do.
And he's with Paul on the Hole in the Wall
Right.
gang and Painted Turtle, which is a program for children.
See, we ought to be able to say to people, these are the best practices we know of. These are the things that we can brag about, and if you participated or made a mirror program, it would work.
I think, yeah, it is, and we can't solve it all right at the moment.
No, of
The
course.
first thing you got to do is you got to get out and be involved.
That's
and
right.
find out where your local center is and get involved and experience. And then also get involved with our library system, which is so important. There's a great program for seniors that encourages people. I like people to just get involved with the city,
Right.
and some goodwill habit to it. We always got to be careful,
Sure.
you know, because the traffic is so fast down the street, and you know we walk across the street. Even you and I right now, it's always dangerous. Be careful in the intersections.
But we don't have
Right.
those icy sidewalks, and we don't have
Right.
those horrible cold days. And what good fortune to have this weather. This is a beautiful city.
Right.
There are places everywhere to go. I love the idea of helping our libraries have a larger outreach. And I also believe in mobile classrooms.
Right.
Because, boy, if anybody knows about transportation, it's us.
Right. Well, the library has a Read to Me program where
Yes.
seniors will read to young children. It inspires them in other
Sure
ways.
does.
So this is very good. Dancing programs are real good.
That's right.
They have, and I know people do the. Not the samba, but the I want to say that
Well,
you know what it is.
I can't- how
They
can
do
you
it out
even
at the
catch it
Osprey
up?
National Center. They do.
Well.
God, now I'm having a senior moment.
Oh, well,
Huh?
aren't we all?
I know exactly, exactly.
Well, of course I like to dance, but you know, to me sometimes...
Salsa. Salsa.
Salsa,
Oh,
okay.
it took me a
Well,
minute.
isn't that
Right.
something I eat?
yeah.
No, the truth is, seniors have much more to offer than just their own self-interest. They have watched the city change.
Well, they're
and
mature.
grow.
They
Yeah,
know,
so-
and they don't have to. Their experience is free in giving, and they give so much to the city.
Right.
We should give back and create opportunities for them, and
agree.
salute them for what they do and who they are.
And I'd like to, I think the future is going to have to provide for accessible health care. And I'm not just talking, you know, big institutions. I'm
Right.
talking about a sort of the walk-in place where, you know, the sort of the run-of-the-mill problems can be taken care of and addressed without having to go to an emergency room that costs us a fortune.
Right, but at the same time, too, a wellness program of being involved, of walking in your local park or neighborhood, a little exercise, a little stretch. All of us have to do more of that. I happen to get, like an old dog, I get up every morning, go hiking in Grits Park.
Good
But
for
we
you.
all have to do that. I think is real important.
That's right.
And engage with that. It's good physical health, good mental health, and I think that may keep us away from the
Well, it's
good
nice to-
doctors who work so hard for our own health.
Well, it's nice to have Griffith Park in your backyard
Right,
too. That's of course we have a wonderful parks and recreation system. One of the things that we talked about here on this show were these wonderful new dog parks,
Right.
Where you take your canine companion and you can get out there. They get exercise.
Right.
You get out in the fresh air and you meet new people. That's
Right.
a wonderful thing to have.
It is very inspiring to see people get out. And that's what they want. We want an old Main Street. I think that's what people want, where
Yeah.
people engage, you know, where
Yeah.
they get to meet other people and have a relationship. Because it's water and relationships
Yep.
that make it happen.
Well, I agree. I can sure see that. I'm thinking about that well on Olvero Street. You know,
Right.
that's where you congregated.
That's it.
That's where the
it.
water was.
That's where and it's still under the ground in the old cornfields now,
Yeah.
the old
Wow.
from Mulholland's time. So.
Well, now, what about utilizing our river? I know we've done quite a bit of reclamation there, and it's really becoming kind of an attractive place to go to.
Well, you should see in some mornings, and I know my old one of my high school coaches. He rides with other seniors on the bikeway on the river, which is a plus.
Fantastic.
You know, that's a good thing to do. Get out and ride bicycles.
Sure.
Work with a group. It's sometimes more fun when you have a buddy. It really is.
Of
When you have
course
a
it
buddy,
is.
it's nice to have a little buddy system, and there's a lot of seniors looking forward to that.
Well, I think so because so many, frankly, we're living so long now, they have lost their friends. They have outlived their friendships, and are maybe reluctant because of health reasons, or maybe they just don't feel fit enough to make new friends, and yet the constant renewal of friendships keeps you young.
But keeps you young,
alive.
keeps your mind right.
Yeah.
No,
Now,
it's so good.
if I could deliver to you a senior citizen army, and you were given the orders to the troops, should we be mobilizing to help you approach our city fathers to help them
City
work?
mothers and fathers.
No,
You
your
know,
mothers and
Jan
fathers. That's right.
Perry
Oh,
and
geez.
Janice
Well,
Hahn will come after you, and
well,
Wendy Gruhl.
Well, how about that Hahn family? Now,
Yeah.
now talk about a family that's made a contribution to
Right.
our welfare. Amazing.
I know. Kenneth Hahn was one of the first people I ever heard in my mind when I was a young
Yeah.
man working
Well,
on Vermont Avenue.
He was the real deal.
The real deal.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think all of us should engage and to be advocates. I think it's real. Government is only good as the people that it represents, and they have to get engaged, and seniors should get engaged. And it's a fight because the pie is only so big, but you could fight to try to get a piece of the pie
Right.
and improve the quality of life.
And seniors are smart. You know, they know how the system works. You know,
Right.
it is the squeaky wheel. And but besides that, we can withhold Thanksgiving dinners from our kids. Oh, heck, our time is up for today's edition of Aging in L.A. Thanks so much to our guest, Tom LaBonge, council member for Los Angeles Council District 4 and chairman of the council's Arts, Parks, Health, and Aging Committee. And now it's time for our new feature on aging in LA, Senior Stat Shots, where we look at statistics that pertain to senior citizens. We talked earlier about the increase in life expectancy. Well, here are the real figures. The last available statistics from the Centers for Health Control and Prevention are from 2003, and they show that a white male's life expectancy has gone from 68 years of age in 1970 to 77.9 years in 2003, an increase of 9 years. For African American males, the life expectancy has gone from 60 to 68.9 years, also an increase of 9 years over 33 years. For white females, the percentage increase is less than males, but the average life expectancy in 1970 for women was 75.5 years, and in 2003, 80.4 years, an increase of 5 years. Think about that. In 1970, African American females expected to live 68.3 years. And in 2003, their life expectancy is now 75.9 years, an increase of 7.5 years. So, on the average, males live 9 years longer than 33 years ago, and females have added 6 years to their life expectancy. Now, that's today's Senior Stat Shot. The Los Angeles Department of Aging produces this program with CityView Channel 35 so that seniors living in Los Angeles and surrounding communities are well informed on the many issues that face them in everyday life. And also to let you know of the many services that the Department of Aging offers our senior citizens. Now, we'd like to hear from you with comments on the program, what you like, what you think can be improved, and ideas for future programs. Please give us a call. The number's right there on your screen, 213-252-4088. That's 213-252-4088. Call us with your comments and ideas. We look forward to hearing from you. I'm Paul Peterson for the Los Angeles Department of Aging, the people here at CityView Channel 35, and all of our guests on Aging in LA. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.